Graham 313 back at it again. You know why? Well, it's because this is therapeutic, man. Back again with another video, hence another therapy session. Today's topic and title is good versus bad dating coaches, knowing the difference. Now, before we get into this, stay tuned to the end if you want to know the dating coaches that I'm speaking of or not speaking of. Let's jump into it. Only in the West, in societies influenced by the West, is there a necessity for a dating coach. Having a coach is indicative of a game, a competition taking place, thus winning and losing. And in the West, dealing with the modern female, losing is indeed part of the game, if not the whole game itself, being a losing one if you are playing it. So guys naturally want to compete to win. And of course, the competition is between two or more men for the prize of winning a particular female, unbeknownst to many men. So through dating coaches, which I do consider myself somewhat of a dating coach as well, or I should say a catch and release coach. But when you use a dating coach, it's because you are trying to improve your odds of winning the modern female as the prize, which is a problem right there. But we'll talk about that another time. But right out the gate, the difference between my dating coaching style and others is that I harp on the fact that there is no prize to win and not to traditionally date, but to use your interactions with the modern female as recreation only. The reason behind this is because she's typically a waste of time, effort, and energy to begin with. And she should be relegated to being occasional and casual and recreatory, if there's such a word. I believe that this is the proper perspective and reaction to the so-called modern dating scene in today's world. My job is to show how not to date, but to recreate, taking everything that I know and have heard about female nature and using it to your advantage to minimize the risk involved, to minimize the time wasted and the effort and energy spent in obtaining the box from the modern female, and to take the energy, time, and effort that you have conserved and focus that on more important things. And again, relegating her to just recreation. Or to say it another way, not to take the female seriously. Now, there are many elements of game that's basic, that's fundamental, that's foundational. And most dating coaches like myself understand the basic principles. But just like boxing, just like martial arts, just like any fighting style, you have an orthodox or traditional style, like a traditional boxer versus a slick boxer. Different styles. In martial arts, you may have jiu-jitsu. You may have capoeira, Thai boxing, Krav Maga. Different styles. And since dating is like a competition, once you know the foundation of your art and style, just like fighting, it comes down to style. Now, I know many dating coaches have not told you this, but understand that I'm versed in the game. Therefore, whatever dating coach you like him because it's a question of styles. His style versus my style. That guy's style versus the other guy's style. You like this dating coach's style or you like that dating coach's style? It's a question of style. Now you have to figure out what style works for you. The best style for you. And since I am a dating coach, or how to recreate coach, the art of dating without dating, I believe my style is the best because my specific style is catch and release, pump and let her dump. That's my specific and unique style that I employ. Again, because I think it's best, especially for spiritual brothers, for thinking men, guys who don't want to waste a lot of time with the female. Keep in mind, that this is not the same as the regular pump and dump. I say it's pump and let her dump. For more information on that, see the video called The Pump and Let Her Dump Stratagem. But regardless of style, I think that we can all agree, and this is my opinion, but we can agree that there are good dating coaches and bad dating coaches. Can you discern the difference, specifically in the YouTube space? There are many popular voices and some unpopular voices, but no matter what dating coach you like, it's incumbent upon you to figure out, to discern, to know if that particular dating coach has your best interest in mind. And if you're not sure how to do that, then here we go with the signs of a bad dating coach and then the signs of a good dating coach. So let's start off with the bad. Here we go. A, the number one sign of a bad dating coach is one that excuses female promiscuity, saying her body count doesn't matter and that you're insecure for being concerned about it. Now, we can approach the fact that her body count matters from many different aspects. We can approach it from a mental aspect. We can approach it from a emotional aspect, a physical aspect. But no matter what aspect, you better believe her body count does matter. Now, should you deal with her in spite of that? Well, that's your choice. But saying that her history doesn't matter is ultimately setting you up for failure. Because if you are looking for anything serious, which you shouldn't be, you have to consider her past. And this may go for short-term and long-term relationships. You have to consider her past. Because if you don't, then you are going in blindly, or at least with rose-colored lenses on, leaving the opportunity for her to win, because love is indeed war. And you're leaving yourself open for the potential for her to devour you. Don't get caught in her trap. B, signs of a bad dating coach is that these dating coaches want to down men, want to put men down. See, we are not the problem. The creature is. Some dating coaches feel that it's the guy that's the problem. But the fact remains, and the fact is, that most guys are just sincere, hard-working, honest, down-to-earth, decent men. But the modern female is anything decent in return. It's her that's the problem. She's the one who has damaged herself by carousel riding. She's the one who has the dual mating strategy. She's the one who's full of madness and confusion and chaos and dysfunction. Not you, the thinking man. We're not talking about thuggos in this space. The thinking man is here. Realize where the problem lies. Bad dating coaches will put the problem at your feet. He's not the problem. She is. For example, just to show you that I'm not just rambling and I'm not just saying words. An example of her being the problem. What the creature desires, specifically the succubus, what she desires in a relationship is rulership and ownership over you, which is against nature. That's the problem. But how many dating coaches will tell you that? She's the problem, not you. You are acting in accordance with your nature, and she's acting against nature. A bad dating coach will act as if it's completely your fault. I'm not saying that you don't need to be armed with certain tools to make things better and more efficient for you on the dating scene. But understand that the problem lies within her, not within you. Letter C. Bad dating coaches pedestalize females, saying that you should chase and seek after them. The real game is to reverse the game and have her pursue you. You are the one holding all of the value. She benefits most from any interaction with you as a man. If a dating coach isn't constantly reminding you of such things, that the value lies within you, then his motives should come to question. And what also should come to question is you questioning him on what team he's really coaching in reality. What team is he for? Because many dating coaches are for the pink team, so to speak. Speaking of some of your favorite dating coaches, they may be secretly working for the other team. Letter D. Dating coaches who don't offer practical solutions on how to efficiently deal with the modern female, or at least the steps necessary to avoid the traps of the modern female, or even staying away from the modern female, period, when necessary. For instance, it's very key to know when she's wasting your time. I have a video titled by the same name. I won't go into specifics about time wasting in this video because, like I said, I have a video on that in my archives. How to know when she's wasting your time. And there I make those things clear. But if a dating coach is not telling you when to move on when she's wasting your time, that indeed is a bad dating coach. Letter E. It's a bad dating coach when he says things that ultimately empowers the female. Saying things that empowers her ultimately, like saying that you should self-improve so that you can qualify to wife her up, which is a no-no. You self-improve for you, not her. If a dating coach is pushing legal marriage in today's climate, it's a cause for pause. Or at least categorize such a dating coach as blue, not red. But I am the real peel, that is. So then, the question is, can you take such a coach seriously? Now, I'm not saying that every dating coach has to be on the same page. You can chew the meat and spit out the bones. But understand that not all dating coaches are looking out for your best interest. They could be playing for that other team. Going down to the courthouse to solidify a relationship based off society's ideals is a dangerous thing. And any man who promotes that may be leading you into the danger zone. Now for the signs of a good dating coach. I'll go from 5 to 1 in order. Stay tuned because number 1, which is last, is actually primary. It's the first. So let's start with number 5. Number 5, a good dating coach will focus the clients on self-development. Why? Because ultimately you are the center and focal point of the relationship, not the female. You are the focal point. Your own life should be lived as one being empowered constantly and improved upon constantly. You developing as a man is paramount. I'm not talking empowerment so that you can wife up the female. That's pure weakness right there. Your self-development is about you and for you and has nothing to do with her whatsoever. Your self-improvement is all about you. A good dating coach understands that you should live your best life and that your life is the central point and figure in her life, as you are the central figure in the relationship, not her. For she was created for you and not you for she. Number 4, a good dating coach knows whose the prize is. A dating coach like myself. A good dating coach knows that the power, wisdom, virtue, morality, principles, and goodness is within you. I know that there are many a succubus, rotten Chiquita banana, and rabied snow bunny that will try to extinguish the bright flame that you are. I know that the whole of society wants you in the back seat. I know that society thinks that you are less than. I know that this society puts her on the pedestal and wants you to worship at her altar. My style of date coaching pushes against such to show who the prize really is. That's a good dating coach. Number 3, a good dating coach wants to empower you and not just sell you a product or service. A good dating coach does not look at you as simply a customer. A good dating coach, like myself, is dedicated to improving the life of guys in general and not just his dating life. Is your favorite dating coach being honest with you about his experiences? Does he have your best interest in mind? Is he really trying to impart something that's empowering? Or does he see you just as a dollar sign? Someone to just gather money from? Determine this when you're listening to your favorite dating coaches. Because a good dating coach doesn't see you as simply a means to make money. He doesn't see you as merchandise. It is not just trying to sell you a product or a service. Number 2, sign of a good dating coach is that a good dating coach has a body of work and receipts. Does his life, as you see it, does his life really stand up and exemplify what he's preaching? I've seen dating coaches talk about manhood, but their life is exemplary of boyhood. They're dating coaches who are far from being real men. If he doesn't practice what he preaches, if the game style that he promotes is not effective, then you need to question his authenticity in such an area. Now we're at part 1. A good dating coach warns you about female nature. And I can go on and on about that. If you're a subscriber to my channel, you already know how important this understanding is. A good dating coach warns you of the risk of dealing with today's female. A good dating coach understands and tells you about the divorce rate being 50% and probably above. A good dating coaches tell you that the STD rate of the succubus is also above 50%. Therefore, dating today is like walking in a minefield. If he's not telling you to take precautions, then he definitely doesn't have your best interest at heart. You have a lot of young men who don't have fathers, who didn't have fathers, or big brothers. You have a lot of young men who have not been exposed to the game. Therefore, it is the responsibility of a good dating coach to warn you about all aspects of female nature, to warn you about the dangers associated with it, telling you to get married when there's a 50% divorce rate, telling you to take the female seriously when the STD rate is above 50%, especially for the succubus in particular. If they are not warning you about that, then again, they may not have your best interest in mind. You want good dating coaching? Listen to my videos on the game. Look at the Patreon page. So in conclusion, the dating coaches that I think are bad versus the dating coaches I think are good, you can use the list to determine that. Now, who I'm not talking about, in case you thought this was a beef video, and I can't name them all, but I'm not talking against ARC, one of the greatest dating coaches ever, the OG of the game. I'm not talking about one of the GOATs, one of the greatest, Steph, aka Steph is Cold, the young legend, one of the greatest dating coaches out here, and my personal favorite. I am not talking about the homie AMS. I am not talking about Lucario. I'm not talking about Affy, Donovan, or KS. I'm actually not talking about anyone in particular. The guys I just mentioned, especially Steph, are great dating coaches. I'm not saying these guys don't do any of these things listed. I don't listen to all of their material. I have a full-time job and I'm busy creating my own content. I'm just letting you know that this is not a beef video and that you can use the points that I just mentioned here to judge anyone, including myself. Use this video as a guideline to determine good versus bad dating coaches. And one of the dating coaches, again, that I trust is Stefan Klingscales, because he lets you know in no uncertain terms about the dangers of female nature, and then in turn tells you how to use the creature's nature to your advantage. So salute to Steph, and salute to all of them. ARC, Donovan, Lucario, AMS, my brother Affy, KS, and there are many other brothers that I could mention. And don't forget to throw my name in there, Black Ram 313, a dating coach on how to date without dating, a recreation coach. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button so you won't miss a Black Ram 313 video. In the description box are links to the Cash App, the PayPal, the Patreon, an email address if you want a one-on-one consult for some dating game advice. And until next time, my brethren, Black Ram 313, I'm out.